What better use of 50 hours of my life is there than to continue to play The Legend of Dragoon for the PlayStation 1? My name is Randy Fluharty. This is the first time I'm playing it. I'm nearing the end, I hope to God. My voice is gone. Gone before it even came. Giggity. Let's continue on. We're at the moon that never sets. Do I really have to explain the plot? I mean, have you played a Japanese role-playing game? Have you gotten to the end? It's a lot like that. World-ending God is about to be born. We're gonna stop it. We don't really have that. Well, I guess Dart's father is there. Personal stakes. Rose was dating Dart's father, weirdly. Spartan is here. Where is my voice today? I mean, there's a big glob of goo directly over my windpipe. I think that's probably what's causing the issue here. I don't know how long this is going to be. I do have a hard out today, so if it looks like we're nearing some kind of final boss and it's not within the next 5 minutes... Yeah, I don't know, Spartan. I haven't spoken very much in the past handful of hours. This is the first I'm learning of what's going on with my throat here, so it's just as surprising to me as it is to you. We've also decided we're not going to fight anymore, because you know what? Love. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Keep going back. The good news is that I have a weirdly positive... Oh, hold on. Stuff is happening. Dart says, "What is this? The ground is so far away." Albert says, "Are we floating in the air?" Rose says, "You can stand up." Rose says, "It seems there is an invisible floor." That would mess me up, by the way. There's this, in Europe, there's like this tower, I don't know where it is, but there's a glass floor that is super solid, but it just goes straight down and you're allowed to stand on it. And that would just absolutely terrify me. Couldn't do it. Don't know if I could do it. Dart says, "Are we really in the sky?" I'm not a heights guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, heights are bad. Mira says, "It looks like it, because this is a cloud." Mira's flying, so it doesn't really matter. Mira says, "Even if I've never been in such a high place," 4 dots. Rose says, "Really, anything can happen." Rose says, "Don't look at the view forever. We are moving on." Also, I wouldn't be able to see the ground. I'm on the moon. Wait, unless this moon isn't what I know moons to be, which is in space. But this sucker should be way beyond seeing those buildings and trees down there. It's going to be fun where every 30 seconds or so I have to clear my throat. That's going to be a fun experience for all of us. I am so sorry. I should set up a cough button or something. I don't have one. Items. Smoke. Ball. Skaboof. I'm like Batman. And just like Batman, he throws it down, waits for all the smoke to dissipate, and then runs in the opposite direction. Because Batman. One thing I've noticed about this dungeon in particular is there's a lot of dead ends that lead to nothing. I thought I was dreaming it, but then it just happened again twice, which is weird, because this game doesn't normally do that. Normally there's like a treasure chest or something. Wow! I should be powerful enough to beat this game, right? Because if not... Yeah, it is a cool... I was thinking that too. It was a cool... The graphics in this game, just no notes. Top notch. Love them. Even the faces are somewhat expressive, which is, for the time, not a guarantee. In fact, almost never. I feel like there's this and maybe Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, some kind of platformer. And like Mega Man X. Not X, Legends. Mega Man Legends. Oh. Rose says, that is 4 dots. Oh no, Michael. Who the heck is Michael? Rose says, no, I couldn't have been mistaken. I was with him for more than 10,000 years. Rose says, is that your dragon, Rose? Your dragon's called Michael? Bee murder chicken sandwich. I'd go for some chicken sandwiches. I'd go for anything right now. I'm hungry. I just ate. I'm hungry again. Thus is the fat boy's lament. Rose says, it was the vassal dragon, my dragon. Oh, I can't even see what that is. Is that someone eating? Did they, like, update how many pixels you can put in an emote on Twitch? Oh, it's not moving for me. Maybe that's why. Rose says, run! Ah! Yeti dancing. If during... Does he hold up 2 fingers at any point during his dance? He should. Otherwise, he's breaking character. Mira says, they're not around here. Hazel says, it's Dart and Rose. They should be fine like us. Miranda says, of course. It's impossible for them to die from just an attack of a dragon. Where are the characters that I care about? And by that, I mean Rose. And only Rose. Albert said, she called it Michael. Why did Rose's vassal dragon attack us? "2015? Good lord." Miranda says, this is just my guess, but in the moon, I think some sort of feeling that exists in our heart materializes itself. He says, you mean Rose had some caring feelings for her vassal dragon? They probably have a deep bond. Let's develop some more lore right at the end of the game. Mira says, I flew around here, and don't you think this place seems like the home of Hagantos? Congo, who almost says nothing throughout the entire game, says, yes, but this was the Holy Land long, long ago. I did beat that guy last time. A couple times ago, actually. Someone off-screen says, Urg, I assume. No one in particular says, there is one hiding down here. Don't miss even one. Annihilate all Hagantos. Arg. Oh, jeepers. Someone murdered a horse. Someone says, hey, Dole's coming, run! Dole says, there will be no one to devastate the holy land of the Hagantos ever. Knight of Serdio says, but your majesty Dole, we may be too late. Only if your majesty Carlo gives us permission to dispatch. Dole says, don't talk about him. He is 3 dots, no longer alive. Knight of Serdio says, your majesty Dole, there is something in here. Dole says, come out. It's Fred Flintstone. Dole says, a Haganto child? I am the new king of Serdio, Dole. As in, my name is Dole, and I am the new king of Serdio. There are no more people to persecute you. You can live in peace from now on. Dole says, what's your name? Congo says, human, get out. Wait, did I say Dole? It doesn't matter. Knight of Serdio says, don't be so disrespectful. His Majesty Dole tried to help Hagantos fight against humans. Dole says, I am a human, but before that, I am a man who wishes the coexistence of all species. He's like Lincoln. Or other people. Dole says, don't you like peace? Congo says, me, Congo, everybody dead. Congo alone. Dole says, then come with us. Holy frame rate. Was bad. Mira says, is this something in Congo's heart? No, I mean, no, it's on the moon. Albert says, then is that the truth of my Uncle Dole? Congo says, Emperor Dole, Emperor Dole, Emperor Dole, Emperor Dole. Wasn't Emperor Dole bad? We killed him, right? Congo says, I have something to do. I go now. Am I nuts? I thought we killed him. Also, yeah, he was like the big bad at Discord. He was Brewfish Shinra. Pretty much, right? I feel like Albert's good. I feel like Kongol's gonna be in this party. And that's fine. So alright, he's got, let's put the attack badge on him. Or no, wait. He's really slow, isn't he? I don't want to fight. This is not the time to fight. Congo says, Emperor Dole said, strong leader is required to make equal world. Strong leader needs strong power. Congo will get strongest power. Dart needs Congo, so Congo go. Here says, Congo, what are you talking about? Heisho says, wait for him here. I don't wanna. Indora says, so you came. Congo says, brother, I became stronger. Indora says, I see. Congo says, brother, the strongest. Congo admire brother. Brother, Congo's pride. Indora says, I see. Congo says, brother, Congo needs power to help Dart to save world. Indora says, I see. Congo says, brother, Congo overcomes now. Congo overcomes brother. Indora says, I see. That's not what he said, but what he actually said was inconsequential, and he might as well have said, I see again. Oh, it's a bad start. I mean, look at it. That looks great. They got eyes and stuff. First, speed up. Because Congo needs it. Holy crap. Yeah, Tim, you into it? They're both wearing shoes, though, so it doesn't work for me. Pretty sure I gave him a speed up, and he still really only had one turn. Maybe he had two. Yeah, he had two, I guess. But he also has a bandit's ring on it. Congo's a slow boy. Oh, we're up. Now it's time to just spank him. Pursuit. Pursuit. What's wrong with you? You're so pathetically weak. How come he talks way better than Congo? I guess I'll try the Psych Bomb, but I suspect that his magic attack is balls. Didn't think I was going to get to my 220, but I got there. Oh, okay. That was not balls. Thought we were seeing balls. Oh, is that it? That can't be it. Okay. Yeah! Indoors axe. Giggling la 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 la. Indoor says, Congo, 4 dots, a hero. The strongest hero of Gigantos. Congo says, brother, 4 dots. I sounded way more articulate than Congo probably is. Indoor says, go to the people who need your power. Congo says, brother, Congo is 4 dots. Endora says, to fulfill desire is the power of destruction. To care for others is the power of truth. You, 3 dots, after a space, received the power to overcome Endora, 4 dots. The strongest power, 4 dots. Congo, the pride of Endora, 4 dots. Well done, 4 dots. Congo says, brother! We couldn't help overhearing. Haishma says, you conquered it, didn't you? Congo says, brother, praise Congo. First time for Congo to praise. Congo happy. Haishma says, but what is that? What does the moon want to show us? I think it showed us everything we want to see. Rena says, it's not a moon anymore. It's the flesh of the god of destruction. Really, he needs to see a dermatologist, because dang. Albert says, and 4 dots. What the god of destruction wants to show us is annihilation. Really? Because he's helping us work through some stuff. Mira says, let's go. We gotta look for Dart and Rose. Yeah, indeed. Yep. Enter Albert. Slowly now. Oh, yeah. Okay. Having played Crow Country for a second there, I thought that fire was a save point. Because that fires are save points in Crow Country. Instead, it is just a completely useless room! Oh. Okay. Okay. Hey! I don't know what that is. Not anything he can wear. Wow! Oh, so that's just... Is that not just Congo's thing? Which I already got, so... I already bought it, though. Hello, Lone Star Navy vet. I just re-entered the room I was just in. How's your day going? There's something in my eye and there's phlegm in my throat. I'm just about dying. Pretty sure those are the 2 criteria for death. Yeah. Oh, did you? So, you probably remember this. Because it was, I assume, have to assume, we're getting there. This has got to be, I just entered a swirly hole. It's moist down here. Okay. Yeah? 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 Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember how we got split up from... Yeah. Doesn't matter. Doesn't seem like we're... No! You tricked me. You tricked me by forcing me to rely on my memory. Was it the first time that you finished this game? Like, did you just finish it? Because this is also my first time. Came down, shoot. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So this is wrong, then. Nope, guess not. Let's go have a drink, guys. Albert says we couldn't find Dart anywhere. We didn't look very hard, but And we've done what we could. Hazel says, maybe it's better to wait for them somewhere rather than just blindly look around. You know what? I say that to my kids all the time. Like, listen, it'll turn up. Let's stop looking around like we know where it is. Mira says, then let's wait here. This town is the only place there are lots of people. 100th time, dang. Albert says, it seems that is the right thing to do. I appreciate you not spoiling it. I'm not the biggest anti-spoiler person. Ideally, I don't get spoiled, but I'm also playing a game live on the internet with a public chat. I know the risks. So, but yes, so far I have not been spoiled because no one watches me. Makes me sad. It's the cost of being unknown. God, am I lonely. Dart says, I understand that we lost everybody because the dragon attacked us, but why? Why did your vassal dragon attack us, Rose? I don't know, all I'm thinking of is my left leg is really cold. Dart says, was it to bring the two of us here? The place filled with dragons? Yeah, you'd think that, Tim, but a lot of people are turning out for the dragon. For the Dragoon. The Dragoon. Rose says, I think 4 dots. Rose says, we will find out. Soon. Those are 2 separate sentences. Rose says, let's go. Either to destroy the Virage Embryo, 3 dots, or to fight against Ziggy. I need everybody with me. Dart says, Rose, 4 dots. Rose says, don't be shocked. I trust everybody, too. There should be a comma there. Enter me, Rose. No. Oh! Holy crap! A party member's following me. Somehow I don't feel as close to her. Well, hello, cutie pies. You're just a cute little thing. Dart says, Rose, what are these? Rose says, it's a baby dragon. It was called a pseudo-dragon. Pseudo-dragon, that makes more sense. Rose says, it seems everything, including the future and past, exists here. Pseudo is one of those words I see written out more than I hear. And when I hear it, I think it's spelled differently. I don't put those two together for some reason. Rose says, my favorite pseudo-dragons didn't make it to the present age, but I am encountering the past now. But we don't have time to be sentimental. Let's go. That's right. Kill the babies? Ooh. You suck. Legend of Dragoon, aka full inventory. Get out of here, Flash Hall. I don't have room to be carrying around a haul. Night Raid kills the bugs that are nocturnal. Yeah, no, it's not unknown. It was actually reasonably popular. I did some research after this. It sold pretty well. I think I had greatest hits, maybe. Rose says, Dart, can you wait a little? And there's also an extremely passionate fan base for this thing. People come out and say, like, hey, you're playing a game I like. And I know I've hit something when people do that. Rose says, he is calling me over there. Dart says, okay. I didn't want to go that way anyway. Oh! Wait, why is Rose in me now? Someone's going crazy on percussion. Exactly. Lots of dragons. What's that one called? Triceratops. Okay. I mean, there's way more than 3 horns. But it lives to fight another day. See ya. First we distract him with the smoke. We wait for the smoke to disappear entirely, and then we run away. It works every time. Every gosh darn time. It hasn't failed yet. Hey now. I feel like this is going to be a fight, and I didn't hit a save point. Rose says, I knew it. I know this place. Rose says, it's where I met Michael for the first time. Ah. Rose says, Darkness Dragon, 4 dots. Sorry, we don't have time. Is that Ziggy? Rose says, Winglies are mighty. Mighty enough to annihilate us and the entire species. Rose says, in order to liberate humans, we have to sacrifice you, dragon. Rose says, now is the time to decide, extinction or war. Heck yeah. Ziggy says, we choose war. Ziggy says, the Dragoon spirit left by the Darkness Dragon, and this newborn dragon will be the spearhead of the war. Uh-huh. Rose says, this baby needs a name. How about Michael, I guess? Rose says, Black Burst Dragon, Michael. Named after my favorite actor, Michael B. Jordan. Academy Award nominated. Rose says, how about Michael? Ziggy says, Rose's Vassal Dragon, the Darkness Dragoon, the Black Burst Dragon, Michael. It's a good name. It doesn't roll off the tongue very well, but good name nonetheless. Put it on the birth certificate. Ziggy says, so now can we go? That was a question. There was no question mark. Rose says, yes. Rose says, the real war has not started yet. Ah. I don't want to fight Michael. Michael's my friend. Rose says, Michael, don't you recognize me? I bet you one of those forks in the road led to a save point that I did not find. That would have been nice. Really hope this thing doesn't destroy me. It looks like a robot now. So that shouldn't hurt Rose at all then. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. Alright, let's see how much damage is done here. Alright, so we're off to a good start. What about Rose? Nope. Okay. Either maybe magic? Or do I defend? Maybe I don't want to kill Michael. I don't know. Yeah, I powered myself up. Michael, it's me, Rose. Don't you recognize me? It seems not to be working. It's out of control, just like last time. He forgot the pride of the dragon and turned himself into a mere raving beast. Has a wildness even beyond that of Fennerbrand. Darn. Watch it. Family-friendly stream here. Not Night Raid. Who cares about Night Raid? We want the Psych Bomb. Let's move this out of the way so I don't go crazy. I didn't get to my 220. Jackal. I'm going to assume this is a story-based fight. Rinku's here, blowing off work. Rinku doesn't work. Yep. I love you, Rinku. I know you work really hard. When I worked from home, I too watch stuff in the background. You know, if you have a desk job of any kind, you should be allowed to just put something on in the background. Makes me more productive. The frame rate is weirdly high for some of those. Again, I think I'm just supposed to endure here. I think that's think that's what this is about. Yeah, what a dragon. It yields to neither sword nor magic. The Darkness Dragon is the strongest dragon of all, having the best attack and defense, along with having the best agility. She sounds like someone in my chat. I don't need to hear about it. Is there any way to defeat him? We could use a smoke ball. Yeah, unless something changes, it's just gonna be nothing going on. Okay, finally you hurt Rose. Took you a while. Michael Shell is special armor for the Darkness Dragon. It repels any attack by the enemy. What should we do? Take off our clothes. There is only one blind spot. What is it? Tell me now. I just told you. Take off our clothes. Why? Rose says, I'm going to make you wait a little bit. Let's do a few more turns before I tell you how to beat this thing. Weirdly specific thing, Rose said. You know, the translation in this game, obviously a little rocky. Is that an exclusive to video games thing, or are there, like, anime or movies and stuff that have poor translations? You never hear about shows or movies that were brought over and it's like, oh yeah, that's got a terrible translation. It's only games. No, tell Dart the blind spot. We can't stay here forever. After he shoots the black laser, his defense falls a second, showing his heart. That's the only weak spot. Ghost stories. Okay. Correct, but there were shows that came out in 1998. Did that have bad translation? Yeah, Lone Star Navy vet. I don't unanimously love this game. I don't mind it. It's pretty good. But I will not give this unending praise like a lot of people expect when they enter this chat. They're like, "Oh, he's playing the best game ever made." And then I criticize it and everyone gets sad. So I'll try not to criticize it. But was that, hey, did that count? Was that the black laser? No.
Die.
But I don't think that's a hot take, right? The translation's not great.
Demons dance.
Yep, nothing. Ghost stories, not familiar. Not sure why I'm attacking again. Just stop it. No point. You should do the laser again. That would be cool. You do that for Daddy? That's not the laser. It's a whole lot of nothing. I don't even want to. I remember this when I was in college. There was a clip of an anime going around that stuck with me, and I don't even want to necessarily say it because of the content of what was said, but it was pretty harsh. There you go, Lone Star Navy vet. Heck yeah. Then you and I are on the same page. Wow. Finally, someone gets me. I don't know how you feel about Lavitz's death, but when Lavitz died, I'm like, yeah, whatever. And everyone's like, oh, this messed me up as a child. I cried. I'm like, eh. All right.
Die.
I wonder if his heart literally becomes a target, because if that's the case, I messed up. Yep. Michael Core. Oh, poo-poo. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think they earned it. He literally died too soon for me to care.
Die.
It felt really forced to me. But I'm apparently alone there. Pretty weak when you consider that he goes down in 2 hits after he reveals his weak point. Oh, thank you. I would be curious to know someone's opinion that's seeing it for the first time today. So then when you got Albert, was he, like, jacked out of his mind? Rose says the dragon's body is capable of enormous endurance, but its heart is not. That's deep, Rose. After many fights, it becomes savage and starts to blindly attack people, and in the end, it won't listen to the orders of dragoons either. Rose says, that's why I killed Michael. I killed him with these hands, with these hands! Rose says, that's enough of looking back at the past. You have lived for 10,000 years because you didn't want to see the future to be destroyed, right? Rose? Rose says, you are right. Thank you. You reminded me of what's important. Well, that didn't take much work. Good for you, Rose. Dara says, let's look for Albert and the others. Then we have to head to the core of the moon. I like how the third most important character is Albert, and he's still kind of just a blank slate. He is a nothing of a character. Yeah, Rose's like, I don't know what came over me. It's, I'm sorry you had to see that. Yeah, my 2 major thing, I can live with bad translation. That's not the problem. It's what they're choosing to translate. That's the characters I don't really care about any of them except Rose. And again, I always say this after I say that, arguably Dart. Oh yeah. Let's see what that is. And that's my big bugaboo. This game was... I think this was intentional. I think they did this on purpose. I think they wanted people to care about the lore before they cared about the character. And that's a choice. It's a choice I don't care for. And I think they think their lore is... It's not that their lore is bad, it's just that they keep repeating themselves and adding layers that don't need to be there. But man, there have been 1,000 exposition dumps, and a lot of them are just repeating the same information. And I'm sitting there thinking like, but what do our characters feel about all this? And that's what I care about. But nope. No, sir. But honestly, I will say, credit where it's due. Lavitz, I liked Lavitz better than any other character. Well, not other than Rose. So, while his arc was not complete, in my opinion, I miss him in that way. Because at least he had a personality that I liked. Because he was like the best bro. Like he and Dart were There was a bromance, if not a romance, going on there. Final Fantasy X is one of my favorite games as well. For the same reasons. And its combat is amazing. So I mentioned my one major flaw. My second major flaw is I think the combat is kind of butt in this game. And I know people are going to disagree with me on that. I think the additions are fine. But that's all there is to do, really. Where's Smokeball? There it is. The overwhelming majority of fights, your only options are items, defend, or attack. And unless you want to turn into a dragon, which no longer lets you use items or defend, I apparently went the wrong way. Poo-poo. And half the bosses so that's a good question. What I would say is that there would be abilities that you can either use outside of the dragon form, or the dragon form would have more interesting things to do other than literally, there's like two things that it can do, which is increase defense or cause damage. And I guess what the heck, astral drain heals people, and I guess Miru has some healing abilities or whatever. But there's not a lot of depth in the abilities, is my point. I'm generalizing a little bit, maybe that's unfair, but why am I having a hard time seeing Smokeball? Well, if you're using Final Fantasy X as an example, which did not come out too long after this game did in North America, to be clear. This game came out in 2000 in North America, as Final Fantasy X came out in 2001. There were all sorts of like buffs and debuffs and status effects, and this thing has to be hit with an aerial attack, and that thing has to be hit with a armor-piercing attack and all that sort of stuff. Here says, Dart, Rose! Albert says, we were right about waiting here. Yes, this game is presentation. That's this game's bread and butter. It's about as good as you can get on a PlayStation in terms of how it looks. It says, all of you look 3 dots all right. Albert says, of course, we cannot fall until we complete our mission. Now, before we leave, let's exchange information. Right, but then I would go back to Final Fantasy VII and apply the same stuff to that, and that was many years before this. So maybe it's not fair to compare it to... I don't know, I think it is fair, because if they're asking for the same amount of money, which they were at the time. Dart says, Dole was in the home of Hagantos. To save Hagantos, Albert says, it wasn't the cruel uncle we've known. Dart says, but it's that Dole who killed King Carlo. Rose says, I think we will find out what the moon wants to show us when we meet Dole. Rose says, besides, I think we have to see it in order to proceed, given the facts so far. Logical conclusion. Dart says, that's right. Let's go out to the town now. Yes, the translation of Final Fantasy VII is not great. 100% agree. But again, that's why I'm more or less saying that I don't think the translation is my problem with this game. I think that we've actually talked about this in previous streams where it can unintentionally lead to some of the coolest lines. And some unintentionally funny lines too. Like, it's not... I don't know, that stuff doesn't bother me as much. If they were saying it, if they were voice acting it, it might bother me a little bit, but since I'm just reading it, it doesn't bother me. I know what they're getting at, and that's what's important. Oh, you don't like the active time battle? Albert says, I am Albert. Is Uncle Dole in? Gatekeeper of Serdio says, I have been waiting for you. Albert says, waiting for me? Gatekeeper Sergio says, please go ahead. I like the active time battle. I think I prefer true turn-based, though. It depends on my mood, I guess. Albert says, let me go alone from here. I like what active time battle allows you to do. It's like a more fair version of what happens if a character is faster. Well, they get... their meter goes up faster. I think that's cool. Phil says, I have been waiting for you, Albert. Albert says, you have, quote-unquote, have been waiting? Then it's simple. You must know the reason why I'm here. Dole says, you are here to find out the truth about whether I assassinated your father, my brother, and the reason. That was a weird way to phrase that. Dole says, I would say, 3 dots, it was to save Sergio from an incompetent leader named Carlo. My father was not incompetent, says Albert. He was loved by his people and admired by his vassals. Dole says, you were a mere 6-year-old kid back then. How could you know? I like all kinds of games, so I'm okay with the action stuff of the new game. I prefer turn-based and or active time for Final Fantasy and RPGs like this. But I like action games too, so I wasn't offended by it or anything. Dole says, what was brought on the people by overtaxation and disorder? Apparently that was a question. Dole says, what can ministers soaked in the corruption do? Okay, no, that was what I read it correctly. You have been given false truths, so how could you know? Albert says, even if 3 dots, it was the truth. You shouldn't have killed him. Bill says, I guess you won't be satisfied with words. Defeat me to find out the rest. Okay. I mean, that's one way to look at it, I'm sure. What I really want to explore is Final Fantasy 8 and 9 again, because I haven't touched them in a very long time. I haven't played Final Fantasy Tactics at all. Albert's one of the big boys, so this shouldn't be a problem. That's probably true. Power up. Yeah, Albert is someone I use, so I should probably rip through this guy. Well, not with poopy button presses like that. That ain't gonna get it done. I mean, it probably will get it done. It was 800 some odd damage. That wasn't bad. It's already almost dead. Gust of wind dance. Take that, sword. Yeah. Did he say yippee? That can't be what he said. Uncle Dole, why did you eliminate my father? Eliminate? This game's great. It's obvious. The people of Sergio wanted me. They desired my power as the true leader. It is not true. Cool off on the exclamation points, guys. What people desire is not power. It's peace. Who do you think brought peace? Who do you think brought order and hope back to Sergio? Peace cannot be maintained without power. Uncle, you oppress people with your power. How much value can we give to such a transient peace? What people need is 4 dots. I don't need to hear about things like justice or love or 4 dots. Power alone does not solve anything. The ideals of and reality are different. Wake up, Uncle. You are so persistent. Now we dance. Speaking of capes and Doctor Strange. Gust of wind dance. Yeah, take that, sword. Yippee! I cannot believe this. How can someone as helpless as you be this powerful? Because he's one of my main party members, that's why. You wouldn't understand this, Uncle. You have had faith only in your own power. What did you say? I'm different from you, and I am not alone. My friends have always been at my side during the many occasions when I was dispirited. I've overcome difficulties. Haha, silly. When I young, my father... When I young, my father... Oh, now that got me. When I young, my father would often say that he didn't have quite the stature to be king. Without Dole, he couldn't do anything. He also said that it is you who was most likely to take the throne. I can't believe it. I don't know who's talking anymore. That's why... What did he see in me? My father trusted in you. If you had... Okay, so that's Albert talking. My father trusted in you. If you had gotten together and governed the country, this tragedy would never have happened. Albert, I'm a mere shadow of Carlo. I have blah. Lost it. Uncle. Yeah. Oh man. Well, now I definitely need to get to Final Fantasy IX then. I don't remember that. I mean, they were pumping those games out real fast. I wonder if they just ran out of time. They're like, we just wrap it up, guys. Oopie with the button presses. Hey, ho ho. The power of friendship does seem to be a common theme in Japanese fiction. Why? Why doesn't my power work? Why am I losing even though my power exceeds yours? For Lavitz, who devoted himself to me and fell. For knights who fell in battle. I have to win for them. Absurd! You are saying I have been wrong. I lost so many people in battle. In my times of deep sorrow and despair, my many friends like Dart imparted to me courage and strength. At the power of friendship. I see. You are not fighting alone. That's why I cannot defeat you. Uncle Four Dots. I've been unwise to become infatuated by power, but I have no regrets. Carlo the King's last words were to take care of this country and you. We have different ways, but they lead to the same intention. As a man who grieves for the country, the rest depends on you. Uncle! I still think Final Fantasy IX is pretty good, from my memory of it, having played it once. Which was like 15 years ago? Long after it came out. Long after it came out. I was in college, I believe, when I played it for the first time. Albert says it was the sad truth, wasn't it? But the annihilation of the world will generate a sadness equal to the number of living people. That's a cool line. Kurt says, I won't let it. I will save both the world and Shauna. Nah, who cares about Shauna? Like, come on. We haven't thought about Shauna in forever. No one cares. We are here for that. I actively dislike Shauna. In case, so you haven't been following the literally 25 parts of this series. But Randy don't like Shauna. Not one bit. Not one bit. Now what? In the hole? She's annoying, but she's also, like, aggressively in love with Dart in a way that Dart, for, like, the first 2/3 of the game was like, I don't... Listen, Shauna, like, it's not gonna happen. And she just kept annoying him until he's just reluctantly like, okay, fine, I love you. Let's move on. Can we... the world's gonna end anyway. Let's... Come on. Oh, no, wait. I don't think this led anywhere. It didn't. I don't even remember the combat system. I I'm pretty sure Dart out loud said, like, I love you like a sister, and she's like, oh, well, that makes me sad, because I want your bone. She didn't literally say those words, but she seemed really disappointed. No, Tim, there were a couple of, like, 90-minuters and stuff like that. I think on average I usually get about 2 hours per stream, so that's pretty much exactly right. Does it actually say my playtime in the menu right here? It does, 52 and a half. It's a little bit more than 50 at this point. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not. No, I wanted to. No, there's probably a save point over there or something. That says, what is that? Another freaking dungeon? Miranda says, incredible, 4 dots. I cannot believe there's a palace more beautiful than the Crystal Palace. When do I start giving these characters voices? Miranda says, that is the palace of the Wingleys. Albert says, it could not be made with the human technology. Miranda says, let's go. No, there's stuff over there. No! There says, the path has vanished. And Miru's dead. All right. Oh, 07. I don't think I equipped her at all. I didn't expect her to. Miru says, what are you doing? Miru says, oops. That's a question? Oops is a question? Where is everybody? Miru says, the 3 dots, the Archangel. Why are you here? Archangel says, Miru, 3 dots. I know everything. You threw the pride of the sublime Wingleys away and have been with the barbaric humans, haven't you? Miru says, Archangel, humans are not barbaric. They have many good things, which we Wingleys don't have. Name one. Archangel says, silence. Fine, Miru. I will make... Someone says silence, and it's the first time they don't use an exclamation point in this entire game. Maybe the reverse is true. Maybe periods are... Maybe it's just the translation. They accidentally swapped the periods and exclamation points. Silence. Fine, Miru. I will make you remember the sublime spirit of a Wingley. That's true, Tim. I've got several empty coffee cups over there I need to take care of. But I won't. You know what else they have? They have... Ow, ow, ow! They have Diet Pepsi, which is not my favorite, but it's something that we had in the house. Crack her open. Miru is not powerful, so this is gonna suck. She probably has good magic attack though, so let's speed her up. Take a sip of the Pepsi. Ooh. I kind of hit the spot in a weird way. I was not expecting that. Power up. Yeah, Lone Star Navy Vet. I think, you know, I like these games a lot. We're going to be playing more of these. So I hope to see you again. I very appreciate the conversation, the discussion you brought here. Makes me happy. I like talking shop. I got power up, I did speed, so it's time to Psych! Psych Bomb X! I love Final Fantasy VI. Yes. That's the thing, like, I'm a mainstream scrub. I've touched pretty much all the Final Fantasies. I got Chrono Trigger. And thank you for the follow, by the way. Wake up, Miro. You have already seen the reality of arrogant and ignoble humans. Ignoble's a good word. Archangel says, nope. Archangel, humans can never be ignoble creatures. Miro, you don't know what ignoble means. They help each other when they are in trouble, even if they don't know each other. And above all, they have dreams and hopes. Silly. Humans are feeble-minded even more than you would think. I think Dole also said silly. We have to rule them or eventually they will cease to exist. I don't think so. All the lives in this world are equal. We shouldn't rule or be ruled. Silence, Miru. Yeah, we're probably going to take a break with a shorter game. and then jump back into the RPGs again at some point. What is that? This looks so good. It's Prince Ali. Is that racist? Okay, sure, why not? Well, her attack sucks probably, so this is gonna be fun.
Double smack.
Double smack. There wasn't one but two smacks. Have you forgotten what we have accomplished? We have stabilized a chaotic world and saved tribes that otherwise would be extinct. Really? Once there was 107 species, and half no longer exist. Our rule prevents the subversion of the world. That's wrong, because there were species that were stamped out during the Winglies' domination. They were meant to be extinct from the beginning. You liar! You destroyed them because they rebelled against the Winglies. Miru, a heretic like you disturbs our ordered world. Shut up! You're mean! You disturb our ordered world. Meanie.
Double smack.
Double smack. Here's another double. There's a double smack.
Double smack.
That's 4 smacks in total. You are not real. You are invented god. You are an invented god so they can justify themselves, Archangel. It's not true. I am a reflection of your mind. The disdain for humans in your mind created me. It's not true. I don't believe it. Miru, don't lie to yourself. You think you can continue to deceive yourself playing a fool like that? You fool! Don't tell me crazy things. Yeah, I feel like I criticized this game for not wrapping up the characters' story arcs, and now they're like doing it in rapid fire. It makes me think either they rushed to the end, or they rushed during development, or they're like, oh crap, we forgot to give these these characters some kind of conclusion. We've got to do something. Again, I'm going to keep comparing to Final Fantasy because this game wants that, I think. We need the equivalent of Barrett's desert town that I forgot the name of. Or oh boy. Red 13's town. I'm forgetting all the names of the towns right now.
Double smack.
Yuffie's Asian-inspired town. I love humans. I adore Dart, Shauna, and the others. This is real. Cosmo Canyon, thank you. New game dev, I knew it. Like, he's listening in the background. He's like, I can't wait to prove him wrong about something. Can't wait to give him a gotcha. 3 dots, Miru. No punctuation on that one. Get out of my sight. I love humans. That's interesting, Lone Star, that you don't like Final Fantasy VII. But what I hear about you is based on what I know about you, which is pretty much everything about you at this point, because I feel like we've known each other forever. It seems it seems like you would like what's in Final Fantasy VII. I know, I'm messing with you, New Game Dad. I didn't actually think it was a gotcha. Dart says, Miru, are you okay? Miru says, of course I am. How did we cross the bridge that wasn't there? Miru says, let's go. Too political, I guess. Insofar that, yes, it is a politically charged story. That is true. Is Final Fantasy VI not very similar in that way, though? Been a while, but... And that whole thing is, instead of... Roulette face. I don't want anything. I don't want any part of that. I don't know. I like politics though. No, I like statement making. Politics, maybe not, but make a statement. Is Eco Strike a band? I'm going to assume based on the context of that sentence that yes. Isn't conquering the world a political thing, though? Isn't that kind of like, you know, imperialism, colonialism, however you want to say it, is bad? I know everyone said, like, oh, you can make a political argument out of everything, but I legitimately believe that they were making some kind of political argument with the... Literal eco-fascist, vegan, straight-edge band. Oh, that sounds cool. Eco-fascist? Meh. I don't know what eco-fascist means, so I guess I can't comment on that. Dar says, what is going on here? It is different from any part of the world we've known. Rose says, indeed, the places we have been looked like places on Earth, but this is completely different world. Dar says, don't tell me this is the core of the moon. This is more like the core of a computer. This is like Lawnmower Man. Rose says, this look is appropriate for the world of the Virage embryo, the god of destruction, to be born. Dar says, let's hurry up. If this is our destination, my dad should be heading here too. What about Final Fantasy VIII? Final Fantasy VIII's like about child soldiers and stuff like that. Like, that's probably, I think that's making a statement. Again, it's been too long for me to comment legitimately. It's just what I remember. But I remember, I feel like, maybe I'm nuts, but I feel like every Final Fantasy game to some degree has some kind of politics in it. Or a statement, I guess I should say. I should stop saying politics because I think Final Fantasy X criticizes religion. Which is not necessarily political, although you could make an argument that it is. This feels like the end of Digimon World. Which came out the same year. That thing, what is that thing called? I need to know. Skull spider. Well, it's only got 6 legs though, so it's not a spider. Mad skull. That's more like it. Smoke ball. Well, I think isn't that the point that they're making though? Is that like isn't 16 still a child? Again, too hard for me to comment having not played it in like 20 years plus. There's a save point. Yeah, it depends on the culture, which is why a statement is being made. Right? I agree with you. I agree that it depends on the culture, but I also feel like Final Fantasy VIII specifically is saying something. That maybe they disagree with the culture, or perhaps they're pushing back on some kind of establishment, some kind of belief. Maybe it has a belief of its own. I think it's almost impossible to not find some kind of intentionality in fiction. Whether they intend for it or not, I just don't think it's possible. Yeah, let's save it. Why not? Boom. All right, so what's beyond that door? Is this the part where I'm gonna be like stuck here forever? Because if so, I might have to wrap it up, unfortunately. I will agree that Final Fantasy VII is not subtle. That is true, but I don't know. I am two bosses from the end. Time-wise, minutes-wise, how long would you say? Because unfortunately, I have a hard out at the top of the hour-ish. Okay, then we might be able to make it. Let's go for it. My world, my future, my here. It says, who is it? My world, my future, my heart. Okay. Rose says it is talking directly to our minds. 3 dots, dart. Dart says, oh no, is it Shauna? Does this game not literally start with an impit? It doesn't matter. Like, I'm not gonna beat that point into a... Like, I feel like this game gets a little political too. And ideological. Dart says, what? And you're right, it's not as... If you want to say Final Fantasy VII, you can criticize it for its lack of subtlety. I'll grant you. That's fair. Dart says, what? 4 dots? What's this? Rose says, it's a super barrage. I guess he is acting as a gatekeeper to protect the god of destruction. Dart says, I don't care what is waiting for us. Yeah! But I will say I like statements and politics in games. I prefer that, personally. So it's probably why I like Final Fantasy VII a lot. Alright, off to a good start. That wasn't too bad. Alright, first it's to determine how... Okay, it's one of these guys, huh? Arm... So he's only got one arm, apparently, that I can attack. Arm is probably weakest, so let's attack that. What do we got here? What's the number? 1090. A little bit more than a 1080. What's Dart got for you? 935. Okay, so far we got Albert, the most damage. And we'll never know about Rose. I mean, I think both can be true. I can immerse myself in a world and have the world have... in fact, I find the worlds more believable if they have problems that would arise. What have you done to me, weird thing? Okay. Ew! Bubble gum! Jeepers, how many turns do you get, boy? I like how I said my least favorite boss trope is a boss that gets multiple turns, and it has been exclusively that for the past, like, 10 hours. Although I will say this boss has multiple parts to attack, so that's not as offensive. boss with multiple body parts, it's like each body part is taking a turn. That's fair, right? That makes sense. Head or body? I don't know. Body, I guess.
Yes. Go. Go.
Okay, body's got more defense.
Die. Demons dance.
I appreciate your point of view, Lone Star, though. That I think you make up some good points. We've just bathed in lasers. That did not hurt nearly as bad as it looked like it was gonna.
Yes. Go.
Yeah, but I kind of, yeah. I never know how to tackle these types of fights. It's like, do I attack the thing that is doing another attack, or do I attack the thing that could kill it all in one go? Like a rusted Metal Gear? Like an organic Metal Gear? Oh man, I just came up with the next Metal Gear Solid game. Metal Gear. It's made from flesh.
Die. Demons dance.
Yes.
You want to talk about political games? Poopy. J-Dub 0520. Big into MGS. There you go.
Die.
It's another series I need to revisit with adult eyeballs. Yeah, no, there was definitely DNA shenanigans going on. Okay, I think the body is the one that causes I think that's the meat. But since we've already attacked the body a lot, let's keep going at the body. I'm not really having a hard time here, so. Gust of wind dance. Take that, loser. Yeah. Body has tremendous amounts of health, apparently. Oh, we're up. I will never not make that voice when I see those words. Altered Beast has ruined my ability to see that phrase. Yeah! Haha! More damage that time, sucker. Miss! Just like Mario Party has ruined my ability to see the word miss.
Die. Demons dance.
The body is yellow. Well, that's what I get for trying to use my left hand to do an addition. I did it with Rose.
Yes.
For this being the penultimate boss, I feel like, unless it's got another form and I'm about to eat my words, this doesn't feel that crazy. Gust of wind dance, take that. Yeah. All right, Rose, you want some juice? Here you go. I mean, you gave it to yourself, but here you go. I'm gonna pretend like I gave it to you. I told you to do it. Who is giving commands to these people? I am. But who am I in the context of this world?
Yes. Go. Tap. Go. Go. Moon strike.
Die.
Kind of like it in RTS games when you click on the units talk to you as if you're commanding them, like you're a commander. That's pretty cool. Am I the commander of these guys? I am the overhead arrow. But what does that mean? They can turn me off, though. He started with this, right? Is the idea that he sucks me into a black hole, which puts me to outer space, and then he sends me back to the Earth? Or the planet?
Yes. Go. Tap. Go. Go. Moon strike.
Hey. Is anyone taking a knee yet? Nope, not yet.
Gust of wind dance.
Why won't you die?
Yes. Go. Tap. Go. Go. Moon strike.
You dead now? No. He's gonna blast me with his laser jizz. I probably shouldn't say jizz. Family-friendly stream.
Die. Demon stance.
Yeah! He's running out of things to say about that guy. I'm glad he's dead. Alright. Moving on. Organic Metal Gear. Thing of the past. Level me up one more time. Heck yeah. Can we go back to the save point real quick? Dart says, was the Super Barrage that we defeated in reality Shauna? Dart says, I don't think so. What? How did you get that logic? Dart says, why are you so sure? It looked just like her. Rose says, well, 4 dots. Arm says, Dart, pull yourself together. You're right, I don't much care for Shauna anyway. Back to the save point? No way. No way. Wow, it's gonna let me do it. Probably have to fight, but I guess that's a small price to pay. That's awesome. Alright. In theory, I could stretch it out to another hour. Exactly from this moment. But then that is the absolute hardest of out that could possibly be. So if we are not done in an hour, you're out of luck. I guess we just cold hard stop 5 minutes before the end of the game. Maybe this guy will be so hard and I'll die. That'll be good. Because then I won't have to make that decision. It's probably going to be Ziggy. Ziggy. Oh, yeah, Ziggy. My phone's ringing. Hello? Okay. Yes, I would. thank you. Love you, bye. Goodbye, Gavin. I'm busy, Gavin. I'll talk to you when you get back. Love you, bye. Okay, the out may have just gotten less hard. It's a race. It's a race against the clock for my wife, who offered to pick up our son if she's back in time. So we'll have to wait for her. Oh, are you serious? Well, I ain't saving it again. That's stupid. What was I saying? Yes. So, if she's able to pick him up, then we can just go until we finish. If she is not, then I will be abruptly screech to a halt. And that just won't happen. Shauna, you're barefoot, are you? That's unremarkable. Rose says, Ziggy! Rose says, you don't deserve to use spirits. Ziggy says, you say it even after this? My shiny chest? Rose says, oh no, the red-eyed dragon still recognizes you? Ziggy says, this is the truth. And the annihilation of the world that is about to occur is the truth as well. Tart says, Dad, stop it. Stop calling him Dad. He's a bad person. Tart says, the power is 3 dots, not generated for that. Ziggy says, everything was born to die. It's the same for spirits or the world. Man, that's dark. Ziggy says, learn through your body. I'm gonna assume this is not the final boss, because this isn't a world-ending god. Where's my MP? I mean, I get it, but that sucks. No! Oh, why does it hurt so much? Oh, that one wasn't so bad. Ziggy has my MP. I can't make that rhyme. I was gonna try really hard to do that, but... I lucked out, but I love it when the backgrounds are blue and it's really hard to see. I love it. I love it. Oh, we're up. Welcome to your doom. That's more that I just happen to have the timing down, and less that I'm looking at the button prompts, because it's really hard for me to see it with the background. It really doesn't like Albert, just hates him. Man. These abilities look like they hurt a lot more than they do. I can change the camera, but I think once yeah, that doesn't do much for me. Oh, okay, wait. Maybe that one? I don't know. I don't know if that helps for battle purposes, though. Just a moment. Yeah, my arm's getting tired. I think the 220 is no longer within our grasp. That's a little better, I think. Because now it's going off his armor. Thanks, Tim. Did that do anything? I wasn't paying attention. What's wrong with you, Dart? You're so pathetically weak. I don't think that did anything. I think Dart might be useless in this fight. Final burst. That's a... There's not going to be any more bursts after this? Dang. Ah! You too are pathetically weak, Ziggy Dad. Daddy's eggs. Darn, this is my father's power. Darn my father's power. Wait, did the camera change again? Yeah, that's the one I wanted. Gust of Wind Dance, take it! Yeah, 1990. I was alive in that year. That is my father's power. The only way I could possibly lose this fight is if he starts to do physical damage to Dart. And... well, no, I guess the other two could die and then Dart couldn't do any damage. I don't know. Whatever. How dare you have two turns in a row? Oh, is Rose taking a knee? Yep, she's got the knee. You know, if you're going to take a knee, at least put the knee that's covered down. Oh, this isn't going to do anything. This is my father's power. Oh, wait, that hurt him. Wait, what? I don't understand. Also, the camera switched back. What is going on? Yeah, Tim, that tracks with what I know about fathers. I mean, I'm a father. Do I inflict emotional damage? Probably.
Die.
Poo-poo! Still a good amount of damage, though.
Yes. Go.
Poop on my stick!
Die.
Can't counter Rose. She's too agile.
Demons dance.
Yeah, 11:55. Pretty close to midnight. It's not 2 minutes to midnight, but it's darn close. That's the wind dance! Yeah! Take it, Ziggy! Daddy Ziggs. Oh man, she's barefoot. How old is she? Isn't she a minor? The time has come. I no longer need this flesh. Oh man. Jeepers. What? That's cool. That's really cool. That looks great. Melbuframa, who is the god of whatever, right? Like that's where. Giggling-a-ling-a-ling. Melbu Frama says, I am the famous Melbu Frama. Famous? I don't know. Okay. Supreme leader of the Winglies. I've been waiting for this moment for over 10,000 years. Rose says, why? You must have been defeated by Ziggy. Melbu Frama says, it's true that the sword of that man penetrated me. Dang. But what vanished is only my flesh. I cast a petrifying spell on the man. At the same time, I transmigrated my soul to the spirit. The sublime soul is immortal. That says, how long have you been manipulating my dad? Hopefully it wasn't when we played baseball that one time. Melbu Frama says, at that moment, I re-entered the light. The first light after 11,000 years. When the black monster came to Neat, that foolish soul tried to release the power of the Dragoon, without knowing that I was waiting for that moment. Didn't know he was yelling. Rose says, so, 3 dots. It was then! Melbu Frama says, I was released from the spirit and revived in order to obtain an eternal body that is proper for an immortal soul. And now I am becoming a god. FMV? Oh, that still looks... I kind of like the way this looks better than FMV. Something about that pointy graphics, man. Just looks good. Well, no, presumably it was before the destruction of Neat, right? Yeah, no, he didn't... Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, you corrected it. It was True Zegs. True Ziggies. Legit Ziggs. Rose says, is he merging with the Virage embryo? Or says, is he going to be the god instead of Shauna? Melbu Frama says, you are right. I obtained the flesh of the god of destruction. I am the god himself. And conveniently, that frees your friend. Who happens to have no shoes on. Not that I would notice. A god, don't make me laugh, says no one. It's Lloyd! Lloyd's back! Mr. Lloyd, you're alive, says Dart. Mr. Lloyd says, I cannot die with the wrong god still around. Mr. Lloyd says, there is no space for you in my utopia. Oh? This is my favorite track, I think. Does this sound like Shadow the Hedgehog? I'll take your word for it. You forgot our supernatural spirit and pursued your own interests unforgivable. Destroy yourself and preserve my something. Ah! Yes. Oh, yes. You bothersome dragonfly. It's a man that goes too fast. Qua. Wait, is Mr. Lloyd dead? Mr. Lloyd! It was funny, Spartan. I laughed. I didn't, but I laughed inside. Gotta sneeze. Oh, it hurts. Oh. Dart says, what is this? Mr. Lloyd says, it is the Dragoon spirit of the divine dragon and 3 dots, the Dragon Buster. Who are you calling a Dragon Buster? Dart says, are you here to give us this? There are so many exclamation points, I can't stand it. Mr. Lloyd says, don't get conceited. Now's not the time, Dart. I just ended up here while I was pursuing my own ideal. Okay, so I guess hard out. Let's hope this wraps up soon. Dart says, yeah, right. Mr. Lloyd says his birth will be the death of the world. Hurry up, 4 dots. Stop him, 4 dots. Mr. Lloyd says, farewell, 4 dots. People who confront the fate of Soa. If I do have to hard out and we're like in the middle of the final cutscene, I'm just gonna leave, not the stream on, but I'm gonna leave the game on. And then once I am available to come back, I will just go live again. Because that'd be stupid. But can I save it? Acquire Divine Dragoon Spirit. Acquire Dragon Buster. Can I go save it? Dart says, Dad. No, doesn't matter. Dart says, Miro 4 dots. Miro says, I was going to give you a little tour, but I ended up coming all the way here. What? But I was right. I was right in following you and following Dart. I realized it. In this world, there are lots of people living with lots of thoughts. So that there are lots of fights. But there is happiness and joy as well. Miro says, this is such an awesome world. I won't let him destroy it. Miro says, I'm totally ready to go. Can I talk to Shauna, I guess? Dart says, Shauna 4 dots. Wait for me a little. What's up, Rose? Dart says, Rose, are you ready? I'm not just ready. I'm ready, Freddy. Rose says, yes, anytime. Albert says, we have been together since the moon gem was taken and Lavitz passed away. Albert says, we have fought, laughed, cried, and walked together all the way here. Albert says, but we have to end the walk here. Albert says, for the sake of the goal that led us here, and 3 dots, for the sake of all living creatures, now let's go. I don't care about the other characters, so. I might be able to go back and save it, in which case, alright! I think that save point's right there, isn't it? Yeah! Gingling! Alright, everybody. Unfortunately, I have to wrap it up in the worst possible spot. But that is life. Tomorrow, we will likely finish this thing. So if you are to return here at noon o'clock, U.S. Eastern, we will do it. Thank you, everybody, coming out. Thank you, Lone Star Navy Vet, for following and for the discussion. And, of course, all the regulars. Very much appreciate it. Did I save it? I don't think I did. That would be really embarrassing. I did not. Yeah, support the stream. You know how to do it. tinyurl.com/RandyFDiscord if you want to join the Discord and know my happenings. Until then, have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.